What's good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the cave, kinda, sorta, multiple caves this week. I'm with my man Lex. Lex, say what's up to the people.
What's going on, y'all? How y'all doing today?
And then, of course, we got Coach D back with us from ATL.
What's up, everybody?
And we're going to jump right in it. All right, here we go. So, the conversation this week starts off like this. The Vikings and the Bills might have been the best game of the year. What did that game tell y'all? Lex, I'm starting with you.
Look, I didn't think I was going to say this, but do the Bills have a Josh Allen problem? It's strange how
That man
this is
injured.
happening. Look, I don't care if you're injured. I don't care if you have half an arm. I need you to not give the game away. I remember I was watching the game. I knew the game was over. They had the ball at the half-inch line. I'm like, I look at my wife. I say, look, this is what they should do. They should snap the ball. Josh Allen should back up, waste as much time, take a safety, and then punt the ball back. And then they're not going to have enough time. What does he do? He rushes. He fumbles the ball in the end zone, and they come back and win. I was astounded. My wife, who is learning football, understood how ridiculous that was. Look, here's my problem. Josh Allen has 10 interceptions. That's leading the league. He also has 8 fumbles, which is tied for third in the league. He has 18 turnovers. So I heard a comp this week.
Who MVP candidate was that?
Hey, look, man, look. But here's my thing. Like, I heard a comp. They saying he's Brett Favre. That's a decent comp. My problem is when you think about Brett Favre, you think high risk, high reward, throw it all over the field. But what I don't remember about Brett Favre, and again, it could just be me. I might not be old enough to remember this, but I don't remember all these fumbles. Because it's a little strange, y'all. Like 8 fumbles. He's only 2 behind Matt Ryan, who was benched. He's tied with Marcus Mariota, who we don't think is a starting quarterback in the league. So, look, something's wrong. I don't know what it is, but something's wrong. Something's up with Josh Allen. But before I give it back to you, hold on now. I gotta say it. Justin Jefferson is that man. That man is different. Whew, goodness.
It's that Russell Westbrook hand. Look at the hand.
Man, he something.
This is the part. I agree with everything you said, but this is the part. Cousins?
Man, he first cousins now.
Yo. Throws that were made. Kirk Cousins can show you, but he had to make 3 or 4 of those throws. He usually can get you 1 or 2. The fact that he made 3 or 4 of those throws, okay. I'm not saying I'm a believer. He moved the needle the other way.
Oh, man. He moved the needle.
Justin Jefferson and the rest of the team is just, he's stacked. Like, Kirk Cousins doesn't have an excuse.
It's true. What you thinking? What you think, Keenan? What do you think?
Here we go. This is how this breaks down. Number one, I agree with the Brett Favre comp, but here's the problem. You can't be Brett Favre today and win. Brett Favre had seasons where he 20 picks.
Yep.
You can't do that today and win. On the interception in the end zone, I'm not going to kill him because Pat Peterson just outsmarted him. He looked at it, he knew the route combination, and he baited him and he won. That's just a vet, being a vet, knowing the situation, knowing the down and distance. I get it. It's a bad pick, but sometimes you get outsmarted. Pat got him on that one. Where I'm struggling is I don't mind the fumbles because he's their leading rusher. They have no running game if it's not him. So not that I want him to turn the ball over, but you asking him to be your everything, and when he has to be your everything, it's like asking somebody to be your leading scorer in the NBA and your best ball handler, and they're gonna have high turnovers.
I mean, you say that, but my problem with that is, when has LeBron had high turnovers? When has those top tier? See, that's what I'm saying. Patrick Mahomes is everything for the Chiefs, but he ain't got 18 turnovers. You see what I'm saying? So I'm just saying,
He's
like,
a running game. The Chiefs just don't have a running game because Mahomes is that good.
Yeah, fair.
So what you saying? It's Lamar Jackson versus Josh Allen. Is that comparable?
I'm saying that if his defense do anything, we not having this conversation. Like you got 27-10 lead. We not having this conversation.
All sides of the ball messed up for the Bills. All sides.
Yeah.
If it was the whole team, you can't blame it on one side of the ball.
That's
Agreed. True. But that's the thing. Everybody's like jumping off the bandwagon like, oh, this is a problem. Minnesota's a good team. We're acting like they lost to Houston.
People don't got respect for Kirk Cousins.
I mean, look, we're not saying that we're jumping off the bandwagon, but we are seeing a trend. Like, this isn't new, right? This isn't new. Josh Allen turns the ball over a lot, but the problem is it was masked by the defense, and their offense was explosive. The problem is, you can be great, and we think Josh Allen is great, and we think, just because he had a down week doesn't mean that he may not win the MVP at the end of the season. But the problem is, when your defense is down and they're not up to par because of injuries or whatever's happening, you can't exacerbate the problem and turn the ball over. You can't. Like, it doesn't matter if this and all that. What the end stat is, what, an L. And
no, that's
now,
true. But like, I feel like his coach is getting off because the fumble, I don't put that on Josh Allen.
Oh no, that's a bad decision. That's a bad decision.
That's a bad decision. You lining up on a half-inch yard line, and you're gonna ask him the quarterback sneak it forward. We know they're gonna submarine your offensive line. That's coaching.
You're right. It is coaching. But why didn't he audible the play? So we always talk about those top tier quarterbacks being able to make adjustments at the line. If you know that's going to happen, and we're being real generous, saying he was at the half-yard line. He was at the 1 inch mark. That ball was right.
No, it was. It really is.
So is it?
I don't think we know it's in that situation. I hear you, but I don't think in that situation he has the right to say, okay, I'm gonna go shotgun and take the safety. An audible is one thing. Taking the points, I think, is above his pay grade. That's why I'm putting it on.
So he's not on Patrick Mahomes' level. That's all that's telling me. Because if Patrick had done that, Andy would have supported him. That's just how it is. If Lamar had done that, John Harbaugh is not saying anything to Lamar.
Well, Harbaugh actually takes safeties. He's done it like 5 times, and they're undefeated when they done it.
How they ended the Super Bowl. Yeah, they won in the Super Bowl taking the safety.
Yeah. So Harbaugh, I'm telling you, he'd have took the safety. Mahomes has the biggest leap we've ever seen. So that's not a fair comp. Like, Mahomes can throw the ball spinning 360 with his left hand, eyes closed, and Andy's going to be like, I believe he can make that throw. It's the biggest leash we've ever seen.
Yeah. It's fair.
Andy's your coach.
But look, guys, I know we're talking about Josh Allen and all that, and I know I started it, but we have to take a moment, step back, and talk about the best catch since Odell Beckham Jr.
It's better than Beckham.
Yeah.
Thank you. It is better than his.
And it's better than his because of the moment. Yeah. When you're talking 4th and 18 If I don't make this catch, we lose. And we're not having this conversation about Josh Allen, and it would be, oh, Kirk Cousins lost to another playoff contending team, and he's not. That catch pacified a lot of stuff. And it's a monster grab. One hand, DB's got both hands on the ball. DB apologized and said it was a selfish play because I'm trying to get the pick. I should have just knocked it down.
Mm-hmm.
And in the moment, you like, ooh, interception. No one thinks he's about to rip this ball. That's a grown man play.
It sure
the strength it took, the coordination to not let the ball hit the ground. That's best catch of the last 10 years. Easy.
Yeah.
Easy.
It's
because of everything involved.
Yep. I agree. Man.
Are we going to see the Vikings in the NFC Championship?
Speaking of that, I'll answer that after we discuss these Eagles. Because these Eagles took their eyes off the prize.
Yeah.
They came in and, it's just Washington. It's just Taylor Heineke. And look, I know that there's a questionable call at the end of that game. But if the Eagles play like the Eagles, it don't get to that.
Yep.
Yeah, we're not gonna make excuses here. We don't make excuses here.
Now, I will say, what should scare the Eagles a little bit, not a lot, because the offense still looked okay. But the A.J. Brown thing, the offense is different.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown gets nicked basically, and the offense is different. And, Devontae Smith and them just not. But, quarterback hits a throw down the middle of the field, wide receiver is scared. He's like, if I don't catch this, they're going to kill me, so he goes to the ground.
Yep.
He goes to the ground. Stay down. Just stay down. Yep. It's a 40-yard play if you stay down. Nobody touches you down, you jump up, you fumble. We got this thing in the league right now where it's like I'm jumping for balls I don't need to jump for.
Exactly.
If he's running, he's running right now. It kills me, guys, jumping for balls but you don't trust your hands. And I get it, because you see the kids in Green Bay, and it's like your quarterback look at you sideways when you drop these freebies.
Right. You're like, are you supposed to be an NFL wide receiver? Yeah.
Hey, it look easy till you out there, and it's just you.
So it's you.
And you didn't beat your guy, and it's like, I gotta catch this one.
It's just me. Right.
But the Eagles, every team undefeated on a roll, it has this kryptonite, and you have to worry about it a team that shouldn't even be competition because you don't show up. They playing. Ron Rivera trying to keep his job. Taylor Heineke trying to be a starter. There's people that have a lot of games. It might not their season over, but people playing because they trying to get more money, more contracts. So it's kind of like does it mean anything against the Eagles? No, except for you showed how to shut A.J. Brown down. But it didn't
I think A.J. Brown got nicked.
I think
that's the difference. I think he got nicked early.
Yeah.
It looked like he hurt himself running the route, and so then he wasn't the same. So, I'm not out here saying they shut A.J. Brown down. No. Healthy A.J. Brown, that game's different. The game's different if he's healthy.
Here's my thing. Resident Eagles fan, y'all already know. Y'all know. Here we go. But here's the problem. Here's the problem. I'm also an objective Eagles fan, as we know, right? I've been objective all year. I'm an objective fan, except when we're talking about the Cowboys. Okay, I'm not objective there. They're trash. But that the same thing that hurts the Eagles every week reared its ugly head. Without our defensive line dominating, look a little suspect.
No,
without Jordan Davis, our run defense is not good. Fletcher Cox is not that guy anymore. Now, I'm not saying I don't love Fletcher Cox. That's my guy. But as a run stopper, that's just not his thing anymore.
Father Time catches up
Javon
to everybody.
Hargrave, exactly. Javon Hargrave is not big. He's not a run stopper. He is a pass rushing defensive tackle. He can get pushed around, which we saw. And people forget the line for the Redskins, pardon me. No, not the football team. Who are they today? Oh, they're the Commanders. They're not bad. They're not bad.
Yeah.
They're not bad.
And people
Especially in the run game.
give them grief because their offense is bad, but they're actually a good
Ron
offensive
Rivera knows
line.
defense.
And
Yeah.
well, yeah, it's that, but it's also the fact that they understood that the best part of the Eagles, excuse me. Woo.
You got choked up.
If I could give you water, I could. If I could.
Get me sick. But here's the problem. You have the Eagles defense. Great against the pass. Amazing. Bradbury, slay. But against the run, some ain't right. Some ain't right.
Nah, and look, Jordan Davis is a big piece to lose. I know he a rookie, but that man is huge. That's just a mountain to move. And of course, when he's in there, your linebackers look better and they can flow better. And when he's not in there, as you said, if I can get my offensive line to the second level, it's a problem. And yesterday, the Commanders held the ball for more than 2/3 of the game. Like, people don't realize your offense wasn't really on the field yesterday. The Commanders just bled the clock out and ran 30 more plays than the Eagles did. That's a recipe for disaster.
It really is.
I'm going to be honest with you. The NFC we've talked about all year is not great.
It's MIA.
So I'm not like, oh, the Eagles lost. They're not the best team in the conference. Minnesota, it took almost a Minnesota miracle to beat Buffalo. When I look at the conference, this is what I'm going to tell you, and you're going to laugh when I say this. I'm jumping down the rundown a little bit, but you're going to laugh when I say this. They better step on Green Bay while they can. Because don't nobody want to see that if they figure it out.
They don't.
If them receivers start catching and the run game look like it looks Sunday, you do not know. And I know Aaron Rodgers didn't lost some home playoff game, but I honestly think being on the road and not being the 1 seed takes some pressure off the entire team.
I agree.
Nothing.
So
Less expectation.
If you let them sneak in as the 7th seed, that's going to be scary for whoever got to play them. So I'm to the Vikings, to the Eagles, and whoever else got to deal with it. Don't let them get new life, because nobody in the NFC wants to see that. You saw Sunday, they were down 14, and it was like, if y'all come with me, we can do this. And if them receivers start coming with them, and that run game clicking like that,
man, look, Aaron bleeping Jones is for real. Like,
somebody had to step up. Like,
it's been hit and miss for a couple of weeks, but Sunday was hit. And I think he threw the ball 7 times in the first half. If you can play like that, I'm telling you, NFC team should have been upset that Dallas blew that lead Sunday. Because you ain't worried about Dallas. With all due respect to Dallas, you ain't scared.
No, not worried about Dallas. No.
What will Uncle say?
Number 12 scares people.
Yes.
And his arm talent ain't gone. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
That's the problem.
Aaron Rodgers
So speaking of that, how Dallas blow that lead? How? You got a 14-point lead? Because I know Zeke wasn't in. But if we got a 14-point lead, we just gotta we gotta run it out. We can't give you the opportunities to get 2 scores and then get in overtime and do what you do. We can't do it.
This is Dallas Cowboys. What you expect to
I-
happen? What you expect to
Thank you,
happen?
D.
What
Thank you,
everything
D.
that can go wrong will go wrong.
Will eventually it'll go wrong. See, this
I'ma
is
tell
what
you
I
the
understand.
truth.
Dallas should have won this game. Dallas should have won.
I'ma
Dallas
tell
should
you
have won
the
this
truth.
game 3 times if we're being honest.
I knew when they was in trouble, and y'all gonna laugh at me, but it's the same way. When you stunt before the game, I'm always worried about you in the game. So
Okay.
Mike McCarthy showed up in that Vince Lombardi coat, that camel
Yeah.
skin. We walked out on the field, all pimped out and everything. Like,
So bad.
I'm home.
Oh
I,
God.
he didn't do nothing wrong, but it was just like he was basking in what he did when he was there, kind of going. He wasn't like focused.
Bad. It was a bad look. It was a
And just that
terrible
mindset
look.
sit right with me.
But see,
So
that's
Dallas
what
should
that's
have won,
it
but
should
I'm
have.
not
It's
surprised they
the whole time.
lost.
Yeah,
If
you're not wrong.
you saying Mike McCarthy, wasn't wrong. Let's forget the article that came out about the disarray of this team and how Mike McCarthy wasn't running nothing and how Mike McCarthy wasn't running practice. It seemed like he was running a spa days and stuff for himself. Like, let's not you got a Super Bowl. I'm not taking that away from you. But at the same time, you can't after that article, he should have came in there humble. You came in there like, what's my name is the Jets.
You're thinking that Mike McCarthy. You see, you're expecting him to be a good coach. Not so. Not so.
I think Dallas is kicking themselves because they like, if we win Sunday, we're 1 game behind the Eagles, and we still got to play them again. We take a L.
Still two back.
You still, So now you still need somebody else to beat them for you. When if you had took care of your business Sunday, you'd be in position to handle this for yourself. You can't.
Again, Dallas. And then you're going to get to the end. It's going to be the last 2 games. Win and get in. And we know how that works.
We sure do.
Work in Dallas.
Hey,
we sure do. Look, here's my
Tony
thing.
Romo go 3 years in a row. 3 years in a row. If Tony Romo wins the last game.
That's why Tony Romo is my favorite Cowboys quarterback. It's wonderful. It's so
the Eagles blew them out, like dog walked them 41-7. They lost to the Giants the last game.
And
the Giants going to win the Super Bowl. And they lost to Washington, RG3's rookie year. And it was embarrassing because RG3 goes up to Tony Romo like, you going to be okay. This rookie consoling. It was hard to watch. To watch.
But look, so there's my Cowboys hate. Fair enough. Let me be objective. Let's talk about it. Teams are starting to do exactly what they thought they could do, but were too scared to actually do, which is run the ball.
Run it, Michael.
Run it down their throats. Here's the reason why. D-Law is still that guy. He's a great run stopper, but the rest of their line is not. Micah Parsons is excellent. Excellent pass rusher. Yeah. He ain't big enough. He's just not. And because of that, Dallas is going to continue to have issues. Just what it is.
I'm going to tell you what they're missing, and it's hard to find these guys. They're kind of missing 2 parts of it, the way they run their defense. One, you need that guy on the outside that know his entire job is just to set the edge. I'm not here for tackles. I'm not here to blitz. My job is to set the edge and rush everything back. Then if you're gonna run the 3-4 with the two middle backers, one of the backers has to just be the thumper.
Yep.
Like I'm going to just take on this block, and the other guy is the one running downhill, eating.
Yep.
And you got to be comfortable with that because the thumper don't get a lot of love. Navarro Bowman don't get the love that Patrick Willis got. Art Scott didn't get the love that Ray got. They were the thumpers. And then Willis and Ray got to go.
They did their job. There it is. There it is.
Look, so you got to have men who are willing, hey, this is my role, and I know how important it is.
Yep. But again, what the Cowboys do is they play team ball until they believe it's no longer necessary to do so. Because every once in a while, there's just an issue. Like something just pops up. Don't know what it is. Don't know where it came from. Didn't show up last game. May not even show up the next game. But that game, there's a problem. Why is that?
Yeah.
It's because they self-destruct. Yeah. It doesn't make any sense. They have too much talent. But they always find a way. And that's the problem with the Cowboys. It's not even... they always find a way. I don't know what it is. It really is like a black cat through that organization.
Look, Jerry Jones, money come from oil. You stole that oil from somebody. They're like, you can own a team. You will have success in the 90s, but afterwards.
I'm going to say this because we can't let him get off scot-free. Some of this is on CeeDee Lamb. And I know CeeDee had a huge game. But them two picks,
his fault.
I know one for sure.
Both of them.
One for sure.
Both
is the same pick that he threw earlier in the year because he sees the and he won't go across his face because he don't want that contact. So he drifts. It's costing his team.
Is throwing with anticipation. Yes, it is.
Back the ball down.
Because a wide receiver that plays through the play is running across his face. Because here's what CeeDee doesn't understand. And I honestly, and to your point, Keenan, I don't know if he'll ever get it. If you run across his face, there is a good chance you may get grazed, but you may actually go for a touchdown. Like, you don't understand that, like,
they
a lot
can't
of
hit
these
you like they used to.
Exactly. So you might actually be able to get away and go for a touchdown, but because you're scared to get hit and you want to be a finesse player, look, you can be a finesse player. That's not a problem. But when it's time to go get the ball, you just got to go get the ball. There's no excuses. There's no trying to, pretty your way through it. You got to go play. And you have to run your route the way it's supposed to be. I don't know what it is.
That's real. That is real. Because, that's what you said. It's set up for the offense. You got time to catch the ball, make a football move without any interference. So, CeeDee Lamb, both those picks, hit your hands and went to the other team. So, you said don't let him go free. This is a big part. That's 2 turnovers. Up the lead and y'all gave 2 turnovers because you can't secure the ball.
I'm gonna tell you though. I'm gonna tell you. I don't know if y'all saw it. Juju went over the middle on Sunday, and Juju got slept.
Yeah,
and that's what he's scared of. That Juju hit was vicious.
It was.
That was old school football,
but it was clean. It was a clean hit.
Nah, man, he hit him. He blew his face up.
Was that the one he went helmet to helmet, or was that the one?
Yeah,
no, it was when he hit MVS. That was a clean hit.
Yeah, he went helmet to helmet, and Juju was asleep before he hit the ground.
Oh yeah,
that was bad.
It was.
So that's what they're scared of. Look, everybody's not built like Deebo Samuel. Like Deebo, like whatever. Deebo is a different breed. These cats is like And here go my thing.
Mm,
I'm okay if you feel like that. You and your quarterback have to be on the same page.
right.
So Dak has to know you're going to go behind him and not in front of him, so I can
Thank you.
place the ball differently.
In
That's
the
the
in the
key.
different spot.
But that's
Yeah,
coaching. That's
Dak
coaching and
expecting you to
leadership.
go over. So I don't have a look. It ain't my body, and so I ain't gonna go in there and tell you to get knocked out. But you got to communicate to your quarterback that I don't want to get knocked out.
Yeah.
That
Look,
and those plays came to be big plays, and people are quiet
they
about
did.
it because he went 10 for 150. He had a big day, but he caused some turnovers that changed that game.
It did. Without those 2 turnovers, the Packers don't get back into the game. This game is, we're talking about this like, is Dallas back? But here we are.
All right, I'm gonna go first on this one. I had a little Twitter war with some people this week. I need to have a conversation. I need to have a conversation.
Hey, people weren't paying attention. I was like, man, he out here roasting, flaming people on Twitter with the knowledge.
I just don't understand how many times you can say the same thing and people come with an argument that you're not talking about.
Hey.
First of all, we're talking about Jeff Saturday getting the coach job. I never brought up race, ever. People trying to turn it into a racial thing. I never brought up race. I said and I stated and I stand on Jim Irsay went a different way from hiring. We examined every hire in the NFL.
Yep.
We examined this one. It could turn out to be great and be the way everybody goes moving forward. But it was justified that we had a conversation about it.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's what I said. People lost their mind. He can hire who he wants to. I never said he couldn't. 2, the part that nobody's willing to discuss, Frank Wright got sabotaged. And I'm going to call it like I see it. You can't say, oh, with Frank Wright, we're not running the ball, and we're going to bench the quarterback because we don't want to pay him. Jeff Saturday comes in, all of a sudden, we running the ball like we ain't ran it all year. Oh, and the quarterback is back starting again.
Come on now.
They hung out Frank Wright. Nobody's talking about that part.
Thank you.
If you wanted them gone, just say you wanted them gone. Again, it's your team.
Right.
But the way you did it was suspect. Now, with Jeff doing, good luck, Jeff. You beat the Raiders. I ain't doing backflips because you beat the Raiders. I'm not. But you in a division where it ain't over. So I give you all that. I'm just saying people tried to change the conversation I was having and don't want to talk about the realities of what went down. And it was some griminess that went down in Indianapolis.
D, I'm going to let you go. This is coaching. So I defer to your opinion. What you think?
Look, this is my issue. I had a problem with not just because of race, just other assistants, period. There's people waiting in line, and in life we know it's who you know. And these guys are drinking buddies. These guys know each other. These guys probably spend Thanksgiving together. They spend families to spend together. So again, me and Big Daddy had the same conversation. Like I was like, if I buy the Phoenix Suns right now, I'm making you the GM. So we understand some of the nepotism that's there. Cut so many people. Now, I don't agree with that. I don't care that you beat the Raiders. The Raiders on a tailspin down. I think the Raiders again should be voted off the island at the beginning of the season. Not that they don't have pieces. I just think they need a restart.
Yeah,
Derek Carr needs a restart. Like go somewhere else. When it comes to the part I respect about Jeff Saturday is he does know who I might be horrible at this. I might be good at this. I know I can lead man, and I know football. I know a lot of people I can call if I need help. And
that's true.
From him and him alone, I can respect. Being a leader of men, okay, that's cool. That does not mean you're a good coach.
Agreed.
The Raiders don't mean anything. And I'm not saying you got to lose. Dan Campbell's been losing. He's had some losses, but you can see the team galvanize behind him. So I need to see these next 7 games, even win or lose. I need to see the team galvanize behind him continually before I make a final decision if this was a good hire.
Can I say one more thing real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
The thing, and Coach, you mentioned it, Bill Cowher on Sunday hit on points that people didn't know. And this is why the hire should bother people. He'd been invited to that staff at least twice and turned it down and said because he wanted to spend time with his family, he wanted to keep doing TV, which is fine. But you can't say, I don't want to do the work to get to the spot and then finagle your way around the process and take the head spot. And now, family time don't matter. And you're more important than the other 20 coaches on the staff who've been there for 2 years and gone through the OTAs and been through the drama. You're better than that. I know, I get what you're saying about the leader of men power. I know how to lead men. I'm sorry. If I'm in that locker room, I'm looking sideways because everything about this is shady.
No,
everything.
You're not wrong. And you know the reason, and not only that, but let's also lay it bare as this as well. Those players, not only do they respect those coaches, but they know their pedigree. Like, we're talking about Jeff Saturday, only coached in high school. We're not talking about the person. Jeff Saturday is just a guy. Let's also leave Irsay out of the conversation because you circumvented certain things that tradition, protocol would say you probably should do. Let's just bypass all of that. Let's go talk about your players. You talked about that they were there and those coaches were there with OTAs. They were there in training camp. Do people forget that there is a other Hall of Famer that is on that staff that has the respect of not just the offense, but also the defense? Some ain't right.
But I guess he ain't that close to Reggie. I guess that, you know, and look, I get the arguments that, Gus Bradley's a retread, John Fox is a retread. I get all that. Like, I'm not saying it had to be them. I'm just saying this don't feel right. Now again, if it works and it's like, hey, going outside the pool, you know, gave us a spark, or that, far be it from me to knock it. And maybe the players wanted a different voice because I'm not in that locker room. So it could have been hey, we need an outside guy to come in. I don't know that part. We just talking about optics. Optics are not everything because we ain't in there.
No, and I'll end with this. Alex or Lex, I'll prove to your point. I agree with your point that, you know, these players don't know him, but it's kind of like positive and a negative. You got this new guy in. The players are going to be more galvanized to get their stuff together, though, because he's buddy-buddy with the owner. Because I don't have the relationship, my work ethic is the only thing I can do to prove to now Coach Saturday that I belong here. So while the players might not buy into him, they know he buddy-buddy with the owner. He just skipped 10 steps. I could be out of here next week. I'm going to do everything I can to do better.
That's fair. That's real fair.
That's fair.
All right, next. Speaking of coming back from the dead, there's another 12 that went to Germany and had a good time. And before we start, shout out to Germany. That game was a party.
It was.
Like, that game was a 60,000 person rave.
Excellent.
The atmosphere was fire. So Germany gets mad props. The NFL had already announced they was having more games. That gives the NFL hope for the European division because that game, they were super excited. But bigger picture, Atlanta dropped the ball and let Carolina beat them. Lord have mercy. Like,
Marcus Mariota?
I got to apologize.
Marcus Mariota? Remember you calling me out? Oh no, he can do this and this. I don't care about Marcus Mariota.
Look, Marcus Mariota don't care about Marcus Mariota because if he did, he wouldn't have lost to Carolina. Like, that's just what it is. Like you want to talk about playing down the competition? That was embarrassing. But because they did that, Tampa's route to win this division is just so much easier.
Mm-hmm.
We had a Julio showing. I'm not even counting on that. We know he'll be injured next week.
Facts.
But they had to play a different running back, and the running game looked different when Leonard went down.
Sure does.
Should the NFC be worried about Tampa Bay?
Yeah, man. I think they should. And here's the reason why. It doesn't have anything to do with Tom Brady. Because Tom Brady had an okay day. It was okay. It wasn't great. It was just okay. But the reason
him running
why
for that pass was not okay.
Look, and if you followed him on Twitter, he tried to be funny. Sir, that was awful. Don't ever do that again. No, just don't do that again. Here's the problem. It's not Brady. Because Brady's not having a good year, but he's also 45. So yeah, take with that what you will. It's they remembered how to play defense. That's the difference. They shut the Seahawks down. Kenneth Walker was a no-show, and he has been running roughshod over everyone.
But can we run it more than 7 times?
I mean, but here's the problem. We know who Pete Carroll is. Pete Carroll is like, run the ball. Throw only when you have to. Run the ball, right? Well, when you can't run the ball, what is Pete Carroll supposed to do? He's never been in a position where he has to actually throw the ball all the time. That's why the offense looked disjointed. Because
Geno Smith ain't that guy.
That right there.
Bad, bro. Like
no. But he didn't.
It wasn't great. I don't expect Geno to carry you to a win. I don't. That's not who he is. But I can't say that Geno Smith lost in that game. Their run defense lost in that game.
He did it. But the problem is when you can focus on Geno.
No, absolutely.
He's a different quarterback.
The run game was taken away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So he's not going to lose you that game. But he's also not going to win you that. Yes, in that respect, that's why the league should be scared. It's not because of the offense. It's because of the defense.
I'm going to go in here.
They get that together. The NFC better be careful. They better be careful.
This is what I'm going to say. And you say it's not Tom Brady, we ain't got to worry about Tom Brady. I think we do got to worry about Tom Brady. And I'm not going to break down his personal life, but let's just say his ex-counter half is being very public with her life. Right now,
I was going to go there.
So
I was going to go there because
you know that
motivator man. You know that motivator man.
It can motivate him up or down. It can do it.
Nah.
I'm the greatest quarterback ever, and I'm about to prove your new man ain't it. It could be I have troubles.
No.
Family man. He chose football, but he's still family.
Nah, fam. Your ex-wife is already rolling around with the BJJ instructor. Oh no, he about to stunt.
On an island.
He about to stunt. First of all, he gonna show you I'm still that dude. And I guarantee, and I'm not encouraging this, ladies. I'm just telling you what's probably with that. Him and Leonardo DiCaprio at the party this offseason. There's going to be some 24-year-olds around. I'm telling you. That's just what it's going to be.
Yes, sir. You already know.
That's what it's going to be. Like, she out here flashing it for the world with the BJJ dude.
Look.
Like, this dude beat second base at practice. And nah, man.
Nope.
He around my kids.
That's a whole nother conversation. Look,
man,
she lucky he got that Matt Barnes spirit. Because Matt Barnes would have showed up.
Matt Barnes would have showed up. Not showed up.
3 hours.
He would have pulled up.
Oh my god! Look, in all seriousness, I think now that the distraction is gone and they're not going through the process, he can be who he is, fully zoned in on this.
Yep.
And he still wants it. I give him so much credit for, like, he's not tired of the meetings, he's not tired of the preparation. He still wants it. It still matters to him. He got more than anybody else, and he like, how many more can I get? And
That's true.
again, NFC don't want to see these 12s. These 12s is different.
Man,
They
look,
two the greatest of all time. You don't want to see it.
You don't want, yeah, even 7 seed, 6
Look.
seed. See, that's the thing in football. This is one game. It's one game. This ain't
That's-
basketball.
That's it.
that's
Like,
it.
One game. You the 7 seed with one game. You can make it to the Super Bowl. Like,
Talk to the Giants.
It's all about where you fall, who you matching up with. So,
Yeah,
okay.
I mean, we talking about talking
prime
to the
example.
Giants. What about Aaron Rodgers when he went and won his Super Bowl?
Wild card. Went to Philly.
Yeah.
NFC Championship was in Chicago. Blew the doors off of Atlanta.
Man.
Look, we talking about Seattle. Seattle probably still gonna win their division. So one of them low
all
teams.
49ers might
is
pull.
going
Hold
to
on
be-
now. Wait a second. Oh, I don't know about that, Keenan. The 49ers coming. Look, they's coming.
They coming, and I'm not
They-
sleeping on them because they got more talent than anybody in the division.
They coming.
They just up and down. They just so up and down.
Look.
I-
But remember,
I
they
want to see
still
them
got the Rams.
show up. I want to see them show up and dominate. Go from bell to bell. Whip somebody's hind parts that you're supposed to whip. Let's not make it be close. Let's show up and do what we do.
I don't believe it, but it wouldn't surprise me. Since D-Hop been back, the Cardinals offense all of a sudden knows how to play. So I don't see it. The record's horrible, but it wouldn't surprise me if they get in and try to get that 7 seed.
Look,
Hey, look,
I don't
speaking of knowing how to play, AJ Green remembered how to catch when Kyler Murray's not the quarterback. So
I just want to throw out there, not only did AJ Green remember how to play, the offense was more succinct when Colt McCoy was in it.
of
Yep.
course,
Now,
I'm
not telling you Colt the answer because they ain't had the game plan for him or whatever.
he ain't never been. the answer.
I'm not saying all that.
No,
I'm
I
just
think
saying for that one
Colt's
week-
body is the problem. It ain't Colt's mind. It's Colt's body that's the problem.
Yeah.
I'm just saying for that 1 week, the play caller looked competent.
Mhm.
And we don't say that when Kyler on the field.
When Cliff caught making calls.
Well,
Ooh.
look.
Look,
Look.
he brought up the AJ Green point. It's hard to be competent when you taking away a third of the field before you start to play because you won't throw to him.
True.
Yeah, no, that's facts.
Like I know that he dropped or he ran the wrong route and it cost you an interception. I know that he dropped a touchdown earlier this year, but that beef seemed real personal, like AJ stole his
do.
girl or something.
Yep.
It's beyond the field
No.
the way he treats AJ Green.
AJ Green took him out in Call of Duty.
Hey, AJ dropped 40 on his head. That's what happened. Look,
Look,
but
AJ
here's what
must
I
be a
think-
tryhard. He wasn't feeling it.
Look, this is what I know about the Cardinals. Not only did they look in sync, they look competent. Shall we say they looked like a real offense? And here's the
I don't
problem.
expect that again. I don't.
I neither do I. And you know why I don't expect it? Is because Kyler Murray, one of two things. Either he doesn't trust what he sees, or he's too impromptu. It's one of those two things.
Oh no, there's a third option.
It's a blend both.
There's a third option. It's not that he don't trust what he see. He can't see what he's supposed to see. That's the problem. Look, I stand on this. If Kyler Murray was 6'5", he'd be the best quarterback in the league.
Oh, I agree.
Problem is, God didn't bless him like that.
Yeah, not like that. Yeah.
That's the issue.
Sit here and say in sync. When you sit here and say impromptu, the offense looks too impromptu. I don't know if Kyler got a bootleg right or left to make this throw because he can't see over the offense and can't throw in the pocket. I can understand why you sit here and be like, the offense, I got to see where he going. He going the wrong way, spinning 3 times. Like, I can understand why I'm a receiver. I ain't trying to burn all my energy because he's spinning 3 times.
Right.
I told
It's
you,
true.
and nobody want to hear this. Him and Russell Wilson are very similar. And remember, all Russell's big plays, they weren't from under center. Is I'm a boot right, I'm a boot left, or it's a broken play, and Russ throws a tremendous deep ball. He still does, but the only thing he do well right now. But him playing on script is not something he's good at. And Kyler is the same way. Them, 3-step drop, letting it go, and it's right in front of them, that's not their gift.
Yeah,
it's not. True. And it makes offense really hard to run because you're like, oh, that was only a 4-yard pass. But that 4-yard pass made it 2nd and 6. And now we ran it on 2nd down, and now it's 3rd and 2.
And we don't get that down. Exactly. You don't get that with Kyler. Sometimes it'll be 3rd and 13. Another time it'll be 3rd and 6. Sometimes it'll be 3rd and 1. There's no consistency.
And my son used to be like this, and with the 3, he make 1 3, and then all he would do is shoot 3. And the problem with Kyler, he do the same thing. He be on that 3rd and 16, throw it down deep, get a first down, get a touchdown. Now he want to do it all 3rd and 16. He want to do the same play and try to get it, and it's not going to be available to you all the time. Look, he got to do some growing, and I think we talked about.
Well, he can't do that.
Hey, when they was filming Dark Knight Rises, Bane, Tom Hardy said he had to put them shoe lifts in.
Right.
Put them shoe lifts in, get another inch. But no, I think Kyler, maybe the Cliff thing was too much. You paid Kyler already, so Kyler get another voice that's going to hold him accountable.
He don't want that.
To maximize his small packaging, I'm pretty sure.
Do you?
Unless his daddy.
We're in the weeds now, but here we go.
Okay.
He is not. He's not going to respond to a Sean Payton type culture. He's not.
Yeah, I don't think he will. Because Sean can be fire and brimstone if he needs to be.
Sean is fire and brimstone.
But
don't let the smile on TV fool you. He comes from that Bill Parcells school.
Right. There you go. You're right. Yep.
Nah. Kyler don't want that guy. He likes the fact that Cliff is new school, kind of laissez-faire, no hollering and screaming and all of that. Kyler couldn't take. Kyler couldn't take Kyle Shanahan.
Kyle? No. Kyle, his daddy. Kyle, his daddy just younger. That ain't no different.
No, exactly.
No, they say Kyle passive aggressive.
No.
Say he'll yell away from you, but you be yelling talking about you.
No. He told Brandon Ayuk. Yes. He told Brandon Ayuk that he wasn't sugar honey iced tea. And he told him, you keep playing like this, you ain't going to be in the league.
Yep.
And Brandon Ayuk was producing, but he wasn't running physically after the catch. He was like, I'm not throwing you the ball. No, Kyle is direct and he wrong. And his daddy was like that. No, Kyle don't play.
You sure don't? Look, and
Kyler ain't built for that.
He not, because here's the thing. Because look, and I know what they expect from their quarterbacks. Don't lose me the game. Make the right play. Right? Now, John was lucky because he had Elway. And Elway could go win you games. Kyle not so lucky because Jimmy G ain't going Jimmy G gonna give you the ball. It's just whether they're gonna catch it or not. So he has to scheme around Jimmy G. But again, they're not to a Super Bowl with Jimmy G, right? Look
how that sounds. I gotta scheme around my quarterback.
Look, hey, he's gonna give you 2. He's gonna give you 2 a game. It's just whether you're going to catch it or not. Here's the problem, though. Kyler can't handle coaching that will expose the parts of him that don't make him a Pro Bowl.
Exactly.
You don't like that. He won't do it because they will hold him accountable. And he not built like Allen, who took Brian Daboll's coaching. He not built like Patrick Mahomes, who took Andy Reid's coaching. Like, you got to take what you can get. He not built like that.
Look, that means he has a ceiling. And look, you say Andy great and innovative, but they say Eric Bieniemy is the fire and brimstone over there.
Oh, he is.
Eric over there telling you what for, and you can try it if you want to. Like, I may be small, but I'll take you out.
No,
like,
they like
that's the reason. That's half the reason he's not a coach right now, which is not fair because you got John Gruden do the same thing to people. But again,
one dude's lovable when he does it, the other one's not. We're gonna leave that right there.
He the old mob enforcer to put in that work. He said you put him on them gloves.
Oh my goodness! All right, I'm gonna jump, gentlemen. We ran over on that one a little bit, so I'm gonna jump. All right, here we go.
Here we go.
We're going NBA.
Okay.
The question is, what team stands tall for the long run? The Blazers, Jazz, or the Hawks? Right now, all three of these teams are third or better in their conference.
Okay.
Now, I'm gonna let y'all go because I know for a shadow of a doubt who fit to fall out. But I'm gonna let y'all go.
Look, all right, look, all right, okay. I'm gonna talk, I'm gonna speak not from a place of intelligence. Okay, I'm speaking from the heart. Okay, I'm gonna speak from my heart right here.
Disclaimer.
Right here, right where my Eagles is, right where my heart is, all right. It's gonna be the Hawks. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I'm gonna say it right now. I'm gonna say it out loud. I'm gonna say it to the people. It's the Hawks. Look, I love Trae Young. I love that man. He's light-skinned, he's short, but man, he be balling. I love watching his brand of basketball. And I think it's going to translate. I think that the Blazers will end up being, not the Blazers. I think the Hawks will be third, fourth seed, maybe move up a little bit. Probably not. That's the heart.
You think the Hawks are going to stay there?
I think they're going to stay, man. I think that they play a brand of basketball with Trae Young that's sustainable. Now, hold on now. I didn't say they're going to do a lot in the playoffs. I already got my rankings for the playoffs. We talked about that in the pre-show. If you ain't watched that, go watch it. But look, I think the Hawks going to stay there. I don't see them dropping any lower than 5. That's just me.
All right,
my
Coach,
heart.
go ahead. Go ahead.
All right, let's break this down. One, the Jazz is about to fire sell everything they have because they in a rebuild mode. And Danny Ainge got like 8 picks. All right, so the Jazz is looking good right now. All Danny Ainge is really doing is maximizing more trade value. Lauri Markkanen looked like an all-star all of a sudden. He couldn't find it in Chicago. They got a little bit of it in Cleveland, but he went to Utah, I guess. BYU, his people. Maybe that's what's going on. I don't know. But he's balling right now. So he's going to be traded probably for a 1. A crazy team going to get a 1 for him. Orlando will give you a 1 for that. I'm telling you right now. They're going to give you a 1. All right. Then we got the Blazers. Alex, let me tell you this trick real quick.
Mm-hmm.
GM all the old players away and builds the same exact team younger. It's a magic trick.
Right.
Same team. CJ McCollum got replaced with a younger Anthony Simmons. Josh Hart replaced a younger, I don't even remember who their 3 was. Like, it's the same team. And Damian Lillard, this team is built for Damian Lillard to score 30, 40 points a game. But because of Chauncey's play, and I'm not coming at Chauncey for his play, he's defensive focused. I like that mindset. But the way he has Damian Lillard playing, his points go down. This team can't win if he ain't scoring 30 or 40 points. So dang there. I agree with you. The Hawks is the team. they have John Collins don't want to be there, so they still got him as a trade chip, and I think they're just going to improve there. Trae Young is young. You got DeJounte Murray, who's going to bring you that defensive presence and also a good ball handler. Clint Capella knows his job.
He knows his job.
I put back. I play defense. So I think the Hawks is going to be the team. I think they 5 or 6. Second round is they ceiling this year.
I think so.
Well, here we go.
I know he thinking. Listen to him. Listen to him.
A couple things we got to discuss. Number one, how toxic was the Jazz last year that you lose what we know to be better talent, but you're excelling this year right now? That tells you how toxic it was in that environment.
Yeah. Of course.
They were not playing together.
No.
See, it's
and Donovan Mitchell said, we good friends. We good friends.
No. Like,
Donovan Mitchell would slash Gobert's tires if he could. Like that,
we already discussed. This Donovan Mitchell in Cleveland is a different guy than was playing in Utah.
Yeah.
Like D-Wade type guy. Like, so it's underrated how much the personal stuff plays into on the court.
Agreed.
Guys, these guys are so talented. Donovan Mitchell, you can go through the motions and still get 20, but it ain't the same.
Exactly.
And we ain't even gonna talk about defensive effort. But I think, as you stated, the Jazz are trying to lose. They're trying to figure out a way to do it. It's probably gonna happen near around All-Star break because the All-Star game's in Utah, and then they gonna fall back. Atlanta, I feel like y'all right. 4 or 5. It ain't to me because of Trae Young. It's because of Brogdon.
Yes, sir.
Like when Trae's off the floor, woo. Like Trae was injured the other night, and Malcolm Brogdon was like, "Let me eat."
Come on now.
Doing whatever he wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
When that floor opened up, and like he not above the rim, but he's savvy with it. He get to the cup. He hit the and I think again, Nate McMillan underrated as a coach. Like people don't respect him. Everywhere Nate McMillan go, teams get better. That's just what it is.
Yep.
But I'm going with the Blazers, and I feel like, Coach, you disrespected the Blazers, so I'm gonna break this down for you.
Break it down. Teach me.
Come on. Say something.
One, Damian Lillard don't need to score the way he was scoring because this team is better than the teams he's had before. I'm going to tell you why. Now, the points you did make, Anthony Simons, however you say it, he is CJ McCollum. Like, I don't know how they found him. They knew what we didn't know when they drafted him. But my point is, when they traded CJ, none of us were like, oh, they have CJ waiting in the wings.
No.
They had CJ waiting in the wings. When they gave him that extension, I was like, what? Now I'm like, I got you. And again, you know your personnel better than we do. I hadn't seen it yet. Obviously, they had saw enough. I think the difference than this team that's not being talked about, and you've been on him for a couple years, I haven't liked him, but all of a sudden, he got game. Jeremy Grant is that dude all of a sudden. Jeremy Grant we calling ISOs for Jeremy Grant? Like Jeremy Grant doing his thing.
Yeah.
They didn't have that guy before. It was like, well, if Nurkic don't come up, what do we have? So it became CJ Dame. And now it's Dame, we deep enough. You don't have to carry it like that. So that is, I think it's Portland. I think Chauncey is proving to be a good coach. I think he's getting through to the young guys, obviously. If he can get Dame to say, Dame, it's not about 30. And he's the perfect guy to tell him that. Because I won a finals MVP. I wasn't dropping 30. I wasn't averaging 8 assists. But I was doing everything necessary to win. And I think Portland, I'm not saying they're making the finals or the conference final. I just don't think they're going to have a drastic drop the way Utah is, and I think Atlanta will step back a little bit.
I guess that's fair. I mean, everything you said is fair. I don't like
no,
the
no.
Blazers, me personally. I just don't see. That's just me. I just don't see it in the long run. Because I agree with D. It's the same team, but they younger, and youth plays a big part of it. So I'll give you that. I'm mad that
I'm
you
telling
threw
y'all,
away my Hawks, but I'm just saying.
it's not even to throw away your Hawks. I just don't think this. And I'm not calling to trade nobody, but I feel like Trae Young and Dejounte Murray together aren't the greatest fit on the floor. I think when they're off the floor and they get to run the show themselves, they're amazing. But together, I think it's still a work in progress. And because it's a work in progress, not in a negative way, I think you're going to drop some games trying to figure that out.
I don't know, and I think that's fair, and I think you see the struggle, but the one thing that you do see the highlight is Trae catch and shoot is very high. It's like 39%. So he can be the two. He can back down and beat Klay Thompson
Is he
if
willing?
he's allowed. Is he willing? And that's the thing.
Is he willing? Because he likes to have a ball in his hand, and he like Westbrook. Oh, I ran out of time. Let me get this last minute at the rim assist that looks like I'm creating for somebody, but I had nothing left to do. He's that guy.
No,
And so
that is
if
true.
he's gonna be comfortable not having the ball, go stand in the corner, and then we're gonna set you some screens and get you some shots. I don't think he's gonna like that. All right, here we go. This one, more likely to get back on track. The Heat or the Nets? Now, obviously, the Nets are further down in the standings than the Heat. The Heat not like they want to. Got a big win the other night. They beat Phoenix. You know, Jimmy Butler put that lockdown defense on Booker, and Booker couldn't get off a shot late. So I'm gonna go first on this one. The Nets are a conundrum to me. We're not even gonna go down the Kyrie road. We not. I don't think that's a cloud you can get over during the season. Is that fair?
Yeah,
I don't see that. I don't see that going anywhere. I think because of what happened and how it was handled, for lack of a better word, unless KD go on a historic run, they probably play in again. The thing with the Heat is
That
I know Pat Riley. Pat Riley ain't comfortable with where they are in the standings.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know if you present him the right deal, he's willing to make it. So I see Pat making a deal to try to get them back up to being a top 4 level team.
Who's the deal?
I think they also are smart enough to know we got to save Jimmy for the playoffs. We can't ask Jimmy to do it every night. Like Jimmy, when Jimmy on, Jimmy is great. But Jimmy can't do it every night. And so we need somebody to take that workload off of him.
Okay, so who did they make the deal for then? You laid it out there. You got to finish with that one, sir. Don't leave us hanging.
I don't think it's an all-star caliber player. So I think they find their Spencer Dinwiddie type guy.
Okay.
Caris LeVert. They trying him out in Cleveland.
So
they don't know he won an extension. That's a score. That's a pure score.
So if you can get, or if you call Washington and say, hey, let's figure out this Kuzma thing because y'all ain't sold on him. You bring Kuzma down there, they're gonna make him play defense. But Kuzma can score.
He can.
Yep.
And from a size perspective, he's versatile in position.
Yes.
He can play the 2 to 3. He can be a small 4 in a smaller lineup. So if they can make the money work, you know, and I know that's going to mean moving Kyle Lowry. Like they trying to get off of that. So it's just figuring that out. I don't think it's an all-star necessarily. I just think you need a guy that, hey, you about to be able to get on the floor 6 to 8 minutes at a time go get buckets. And I don't know a man in the NBA that's not like, yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir.
All I need is buckets, no defense. Let's go.
No, I think the Heat, but the biggest one is obvious. Is KD gonna stay in Brooklyn? This is one of his number one spots. Now, I think the Heat can make a move for KD. I think the Brooklyn Nets can get more for KD than the Heat can offer. Because the Heat only have 2 first-round picks right now they can offer.
True.
So that's
But
the
not only that though, if he go to Miami and they trade you the assets, going to Miami becomes the Nets 2.0 because they've given away anybody worth anything.
That's fair.
The Nets don't want Tyler. You can't trade Bam. Like the Nets, Ben Simmons could be like this whole Nets team could be different by trade deadline.
Nobody's trading for Ben Simmons. Nobody. That contract is an albatross.
Ben Simmons.
Ben
Simmons can't shoot.
Fam, that's $30 million a year for what? For a model.
Can Ben Simmons be
not a model?
Ben Simmons be Jokic?
No.
He can pass.
No.
How dare you disrespect Jokic comparing him to Ben Simmons? Jokic can shoot.
No. Time out. Not only can Jokic shoot, you just compared this dude who don't have the mental capacity to make a layup to the 2-time MVP. That is so disrespectful. The level of Jokic's brother should come see you because that's problematic.
He's trying to see people. He already trying to see people right now. Don't get on the Jokic brothers list. Hey, I'm gonna say this on Twitter. I'm gonna say it's Instagram. I'm gonna say it to Facebook. Any place else that y'all be watching this, I didn't say that. That wasn't me. Okay, don't come for me. I didn't say Ben Simmons.
Let me clarify. Let me clarify some things. Ben Simmons.
No, talk about Ben Simmons in Ben Simmons' mama's dreams. He not Jokic. Okay, in his mama's dreams, he not Jokic. It can't happen.
Look, when you sit here, Ben Simmons has been portrayed as a point guard. That's what Brett Brown did. And if you want him to be a non-shooting LeBron James, if you want him to be Russell Westbrook, you can keep that, surround him with shooters, and that could work. I'm saying, can we move this dude to center and say own center? I don't want you to be point guard anymore. And I don't need you to shoot. I need you to rebound, which you can do. I need you to pass out, which you can do. And I need you to put back, which if you don't have any mental instability, you should be able to put the ball in the hoop.
All right, I'm going to tell you why. See, I love you, but you got on rose-colored glasses. You're thinking logically. No. You're thinking logically, and here go the thing. Because of how Ben Simmons is wired, it's not a logical question.
Right.
So, if you go to him and say, hey, I want you to be my 5, you've just crushed him because you just told him as a coach you have no faith in him. Which means he's going to go in his shell. I'm not even being funny. I'm being very serious.
It's a true story.
You can't do it because he doesn't have the personality to handle it. And you're thinking I'm doing him a favor, but you're slighting him when you present him that. So you still get nothing out of him. I'm telling you.
No, that's fair.
If you don't give him point forward or just traditional point guard access, you're getting nothing. And if you give him point forward or traditional access, point guard access, you have a liability as a shooter.
And
so you're stuck.
You're playing 4-on-5.
No,
exactly.
Before when it was just Embiid and him, they can take turns, if you will. But now you got Kyrie, you got KD, and I mean, this man giving you 10 rebounds and he giving you 8 to 10 assists. But we need more than 10 points to win games, Ben Simmons, and you got to shoot so the defense plays you different.
But you know what my problem is? If you're going to be, let's say he's Draymond and you triple single.
Okay.
If you're going to be Draymond, you got to give me Draymond level defense. His defense has not been there since he's been in there.
Thank you.
It has not been there.
Because you know what defense is. Defense is willpower.
To have value. you gotta give me that level of defense. He ain't.
And that's what they. And I
I'm
think
sorry.
the Nets. That's what the Nets saw. I think the Nets saw, hey, you can be our Draymond. You can be our defensive anchor.
That was
And
the hope, but he's
yeah.
not that.
So going back
I
to your
don't know
question,
why
And so
they hope that.
now what do we have? He's got this year and 3 more years to $30 million a year. Nobody
Yuck.
taking that.
No.
Nobody's taking it.
Look,
So I don't
Look.
know how you fix
conspiracy
it.
theory. Conspiracy theory. He ends up being a Laker and starts shooting threes. That's still my conspiracy theory.
if you go to the Lakers right now,
And start shooting threes. My theory is like
I
this was the
promise you. No, listen. Don't speak that on that man. He already having a problem playing with Kevin Durant, and Kevin Durant just want to hoop. Kevin Durant don't care if you got 4 legs.
He don't want that,
He's like, I
he
just
don't
want
want
to
that
play.
LA pressure.
You want to
He
go
don't
play
want
with
that.
Braun? Braun would be the most passive aggressive op. What did the kid say? He'd be his op. Give him 3 games of shooting at 4% from 3. Braun will be his primary op every game.
But see, y'all talking about Bron. Remember when Bron went to LA? Bron went to LA with 3 rings. They was ripping down his murals and paint. Like, they don't care.
yeah.
LA is different.
What have you
want
done
to-
for me lately?
They will boo Ben Simmons out the city. Ben Simmons couldn't stay in LA County. Like, no.
Hey, they would show up outside of the theater, not even buy a ticket just to boo him. That's how LA is. You right. You telling the whole truth.
Yes. Nah. You see how, and like, look, we've seen people. You saw how it affected Russ when the home crowd turned on him.
Yeah.
He got the ball. And they like, no, it messes with you. I'm not, he don't need that. All right. Ooh. I'm going to go to fantasy.
Okay. Here we go.
Look, this real life and fantasy.
Ooh.
Kyle Pitts better demand a trade in the offseason.
Look.
This is ridiculous. This is
terrible.
ridiculous.
It's bad out here, y'all. Like, look,
Your reception for like 8 yards?
I just need a new scenery. I need a new place to start my journey. This is a mental health trade request. I need a new place to start my journey.
Look, here's the problem. If we just telling the whole truth, Kyle Pitts walked in to something he had no idea he was about to witness.
No,
he was like,
absolutely.
I'm good. I got Matt Ryan over here, even though Julio is older. I got Calvin Ridley. I'm good. I'm in a great place. No, down the drain. Look, Kyle Pitts. Now, I'm going to give you some names that are above Kyle Pitts in terms of fantasy. Tyler Higbee, Taysom Hill, Jawan Johnson, David Njoku, Robert Tonyan, Hayden Hurst.
1 catch for 8 years on Sunday, Robert Tonyan. Lord Jesus.
Ready? Will Dissly. All of those guys have more points than Kyle Pitts. Look, if you're in most leagues, you probably drafted Kyle Pitts in the 3rd, 4th round where you would have been getting a really good wide receiver. You probably right now 4 and 6, 3 and 7.
Exactly.
It's a wasted pick. I'm sorry, y'all.
Tell him how you feel. Tell him how you feel about that.
It's a wasted pick, and it's unfortunate because
it's ruining seasons.
It is, but the sad part about it is if he was consistently not performing, we would be understanding. It's the offense. They're not throwing the ball. The problem is Arthur Smith gives us these nuggets where you see him dominate and you see him be that transcendent talent. And then he'll go 2 for 23, 1 for 8. You're like, what happened 7 days ago? What? So again, that's the problem. That's the problem. You be like, oh, my season's back. And then you lose by 30 points. And you're like, okay, well, What am I supposed to do here? So the trade
In
deadline
real
for most
football,
people is in about 4 days, or it might even be 2 days, depending on how your league's set up.
mhm,
If you can trade Kyle Pitts for, man,
a
I
bag of
hope
penny candy.
you're looking at trying to get someone like, Tyler Boyd. You're looking at someone like Kadarius Toney. You're looking at wide receiver threes, y'all. It's bad. Like, I got to trade right now, and I'm gonna give y'all some hope of what it's like when you're trying to get off Kyle Pitts. I got to trade right now. I'm trading Kyle Pitts, Deontay Johnson, Juju, and Tyler Boyd, and trying to get Christian McCaffrey. That's the type of, he's a throwaway, guys. He's a throwaway this year. So I'm sorry.
Lord.
It's too bad. Sorry about
All
it.
right. If I'm Kyle Pitts, and this is me being totally objective,
Of course.
I'm requesting to be traded. I want to go to Pittsburgh. And the reason I want to go to Pittsburgh is the only person that quarterback throws to is the tight end. What's his name? Freiermuth?
Freiermuth.
He throw the Freiermuth every down. Now it's
Every
4 yards, but it's every down. If you put Kyle Pitts in that offense, it's explosive.
Yeah,
I'm asking to go to Pittsburgh. If they won't send me to Pittsburgh, can you send me to Green Bay? All right.
Can you imagine Aaron Rodgers with Kyle Pitts? Oh my God.
We already hit on Aaron Rodgers from a fantasy perspective real quick. Is he worth a start? Because my wife has him, and for 3 weeks I've had her bench him because he's been that bad.
Yeah, it's been bad out there. The answer is hot no. You can't trust him. You can't. Here's the reason why you can't trust him. Right now, the way that they're constructed, Aaron Rodgers is on a running first football team. Just is.
Yeah,
that's how they want to win. This 3 touchdown performance, it is not sustainable. Not this year, at least. Last year, absolutely. He was an every week starter, but not this year. They want to run the ball. They want to play it slow. They don't want Aaron Rodgers to really throw it more than 20 to 25 times a game if they can have it that way. That's not sustainable fantasy-wise. Even though we were talking about Marcus Mariota and how not great of a starting quarterback he is, Marcus Mariota is a better start than Aaron Rodgers because he gives you that extra rushing yards to get you to that 18-point threshold that you're looking for a quarterback. It's just not the year. It's not the year.
And that's why fantasy football drives me crazy.
2 interception Marcus. Hey.
All right.
2 interception Marcus.
Last one on the fantasy.
Here we go.
You mentioned him earlier.
I did.
With Juju getting hurt last week, is Kadarius Toney worth the pickup?
Absolutely. He is a priority ad this week. There are really only 2 priority ads. If you want to throw in a third, you can. The first one, in my opinion, just based upon the offense, Kadarius Toney. We don't know. Concussion protocol is weird. Don't really know. Some players respond, some players don't. Kadarius Toney is dangerous. He's freaky. He is slippery and fast and can break tackles. So, priority ad. Second priority ad, Christian Watson. We thought Romeo Doubs was about to be that guy, and then he just wasn't. We don't know what happened to him. Then now he's hurt.
He got hurt.
Well, yeah, but even before he got hurt, he wasn't putting up the consistent numbers. Christian Watson, 3 touchdown game, priority ad. And then if you're really in a pinch and he out there, you want to go look at Isaiah Pacheco. Clyde Edwards-Helaire. And I've said this name on purpose because I remember earlier in the season when someone said that you should play him every week. Yeah, okay. I done told you. He played 4 snaps. 4. Single digits. Garbage.
With no carries.
No carries.
Oh.
So now, Isaiah Pacheco, he is the between the 20s runner. Jerick McKinnon is still the 2-minute drill passing down back. But Isaiah Pacheco is that goal line between the 20s grinder. There's value in that until they really.
But is he going to not fumble?
Well, now that's the other problem. He's had 3 fumbles this year. So, but they keep going back to him. So I don't know. Maybe they trust him. Obviously,
I was surprised we didn't get Ben Sunday for the fumble
because they don't want to play Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
I'm all like the cupboard is bare.
Cupboard's real bare, y'all.
Ooh, man, fantasy football it be
stressful. It do.
All of a sudden, what's my man from Detroit? Had a big game again. I didn't let him go.
The Sun God. Yes, sir.
Well, now I'm around a quarterback. Jared Goff.
No, that's
I love Jared Goff, bro. And then here he come, 25-point game again. You know, look.
Yeah, you know.
He's trying to secure his backup contract.
Because that's what he is.
That's what he is. Yep.
He ought to be a backup somewhere. All right, y'all. That's all we got for you this week. Remember to like, subscribe, comment, share. We appreciate y'all. Love to hear from you. But that's all we got. We'll talk to you later. Peace.